Yo, what up, bro?
What's up, bro?
What's going on?
Chilling here at the park with the kids.
I see you, man. You
How
a
you
family
doing?
man, bro. I respect that.
How you doing, brother? Sorry, let me get out of.
Man, I was supposed to have a guest on today, man. We was gonna talk about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and whatnot, but I think he probably forgot or something. But
Yeah,
it's all love, man.
yeah, that's good.
Um, I saw you training, bro. Are you training for a fight or something?
No, just training. I mean, that's honestly my normal routine. I train like, 4 or 5 times a day, or sorry, a week, just to just to stay in shape and mentally, because I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, so I don't take medication. That's my medication.
Man, that's the best medication, bro. Is to get out there and train, man. It's
Yeah,
like
it
it's
is. And
natural.
yep,
Uh-huh.
yep. You know what's up, because you I see you training all the time too. You always be lifting them weights, trying to make us all look all bad over here.
Bro, you making me look bad the way you throw your roundhouse kicks, man. I feel embarrassed for even posting myself throwing punches and kicks, man, because it feels so awkward to me, man.
It,
Like being able to strike.
yeah. Well, and you know what? That's the thing is it always will be awkward. I have my awkward days, and there's days I'm off beat. I always post my good videos, because you guys see the good stuff, but I always have those ones where I'm like, oh yeah, I should take that out too. But
Well, let me ask you this, man. Since you're on here,
yeah.
what is more natural for you? Is striking more natural, or jujitsu and wrestling?
Um, honestly, it I mean, I'm gonna be honest. It just depends on the day, because there's days I go in the gym and I'm just killing on the mats. I'm rolling and I'm just just doing my thing. But there's other days where we do a lot of MMA training, and there's days even the younger belts, they be just piecing me up. When this comes to the stand up, it's just those days. But I love the ground. Ever since I actually started getting into specifically like MMA training for fighting, I've focused a lot on my jiu-jitsu, because my first fight, I literally went in there with zero jiu-jitsu. I took my fight thinking I could just do my thing, stand up,
Oh wow!
and the guy who was fighting, he was a wrestler and a jiu-jitsu guy. And so my coaches were like, you should have talked to us before you took this fight. Um, they're like, but all we're gonna work is literally a stand up and wrestling defense, and it's literally worked the whole fight camp. And when he took me down, I literally held on for dear life, and then from there, I literally was like, okay, you know what? I can't do this. I got to literally work my ground. And then I think after that, I fought another dude, Peter Straub. He was a big name in Denver, and I think when I fought him, I was a white belt. He was a purple belt, and he choked me out, you know. So it just evolved, and then now my jiu-jitsu game is kind of opened up so much, especially now because I have my brown belt, and I think every time you get your stripes or you rank up a little bit, it's just a big boost of confidence, and you're just like, oh, you know what, I gotta learn more, I gotta take in. So I just start watching videos. I'm literally online throughout the day, even if I'm work or just messing around. I'm online looking at videos, like, oh, that looks cool, let me try, but I'd be sending stuff out, and I'd be just trying everything I can. And the jiu-jitsu is a whole different thing right now. I think for me, it's just easier. I'm getting older, so sitting there striking with these young cats is probably not the smartest thing to do. But
Hmm.
but the jiu-jitsu, I feel super confident with it. I feel great with it. I'm obviously not, I'm good, but you'll always find people better, and that's the good thing about jiu-jitsu is people are so humble about it. And then if they tap you, you're just like, oh, they work with you and try to teach you stuff. I think it's just a different. There's no ego in it.
Right.
That's why I love it a lot. I train with a couple black belts, and I'm always trying. For me, I'm always like, okay, there's gonna be a day I'm gonna catch you. And so it's just something that I focus on. Not technically trying to tap them out, but just getting better and getting to a point where I can I can hang with them longer. Sometimes it might not be 2 minutes. Now it's like next week it might be 3 minutes.
Right.
But I love it. The jiu-jitsu thing is just I don't know. It's just I think it's better for my kids too, you know, because we're trying to get them in jiu-jitsu soon. My kids are 2 and 3, and they see us doing it all the time, and we be turning our back, you know, to see what they're doing, and literally my daughter would be taking my son down, and she'd be crawling all over him and stuff, you know. So, you know, but and then with my wife doing it too, you know, it's a different thing, and I think it's evolved so much as a sport.
Yeah.
Compared to what it used to be, you know. Right now, jiu-jitsu is a big thing, you know. It's just everybody wants to do it, and those that know it, you know, everybody has huge respect for them, you know.
Right, man.
But yeah, you
Awesome,
know,
man.
I've been seeing your gym. You guys have a lot of people, and I would love to come down and do that, you know. I was actually talking to my girl. We're trying to go to I think like Garden of the Gods here, and probably in a couple
Yeah.
of weeks. So so that might be a good time to go out there and roll with you guys and just check it out, you know.
Yeah, bro. Man, we'll love to have you, man. I heard you say you was a brown belt. So where
Yeah.
did you get the brown belt?
I got my brown belt like I think it's been about a little over a month ago.
Okay.
Yeah, you
I
know,
don't remember. You didn't post anything about that, did you?
I think I did on Facebook. Um, I I might have posted like 1 or 2 little things on it, but it, you know, not as much as I should have, you know, because for me, getting my brown belt was a huge achievement. You know, every time, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, when I got my blue belt, I was super stoked about it, and I was posting and trying to, you know, and then same thing with the brown. You know, once I even striped up, you get some stripes, and ooh, you know, you feel on top of the world with that.
Yeah.
Purple belt, I was feeling great, but when I got my brown belt, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't feel ready for it. You know, I I don't know how you feel, but every time I rank up, I kind of feel like, oh, you know, I did good, but you know, I'm not ready for it, you know, and especially the brown belt, I really felt like I wasn't ready, but you know, at the end, it's not in our hands to decide that, because if it was up to us, I probably would have never get my blue belt or my
Never be
purple belt,
ready.
you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you know, I think we all have high expectations for ourselves, and then once we get something, we're like, oh, you know, we got to start from the bottom again. You know, once you rank, you're starting at the bottom and then work your way up. And so I got a lot of work with the brown belt, because for me personally, I want to you know, do a bunch of tournaments and just prove to myself that that's something, you know, that I well earned, you know, and so that's why I've been training all the time, you know, because at some point when I'm settled down with these kids and they're not running around, we're gonna start getting ready for tournaments, especially this summer. Summers are when we start doing tournaments and fights, and I'm hoping to fight this year again too. Especially now that I got my brown belt, I think that's a, a good opportunity for me to, you know, kind of test my skills out too.
You said it. So you say fight again. You mean MMA fight, or are you talking about
Yep,
jiu-jitsu tournament?
everything. So summers, in the winters, it's harder for us because, you know, for us to travel to the tournaments and stuff, it takes, you know, it could take us like 3-4 hours on a, you know, on a regular day. Just going to Denver for us, it's a 3-hour drive, and you know, and then in the winters, I mean, that could turn a whole day, you know, in the whole day thing. But in the summers, we're super active, and so we're always out. Sometimes in Denver, or you know, we try to just go everywhere we can to go hikes. And so, especially my kids being a little bit older now, we want to start, you know, training again for the tournaments. You know, my girl's super. She actually has more medals than I do. My girl loves the jiu-jitsu, so she be killing it in jiu-jitsu, and I actually this year I want to fight and do MMA again. I've been wanting to do it. It's one of those things that sorry, it's one of those things that it never leaves you. Once you do it, you always have the itch, you know, and the only way to get rid of the itch is to scratch it, you know.
Right.
And I think it's just a big opportunity for me just to bring awareness to a lot of things. You know, because I think the last time I fought was right before my brother died, and since then I've been really active for like TikTok and stuff for mental health awareness. You know, because he killed himself, and so I've been just, you know, really a big trying to be, you know, bring more light to suicide awareness and mental health awareness. You know, because I think for us men, it's a big issue, you know, and I think it's something that we don't touch on as much as we should. And so I think that.
Um,
Go ahead.
sorry to cut you off, man. But I
You
want
good?
to ask you this. how does jiu-jitsu specifically help you deal with your mental health? Like,
Um,
specifically, how does it help you?
well, my biggest thing is is so I have like my moods are really dramatic. One day I'll be super happy for no reason, and then just within hours I can just go like I feel really depressed, and so I have to stay really active, and obviously my kids help with that a lot. But there's things I need to do for myself, and I've learned that the fight necessarily fighting has helped me. When I go and train, um, you have to stay so focused on what's going on, because if you're not focused, you're going to get either submitted, you're going to get somebody's, if you're sparring with somebody, they're just going to be start finding kind of using that against you, your emotions, and that's a big thing with the fight game is if you go in with with the negative emotions, or if you're not just paying attention, um, that's when you start making huge mistakes. And so I think it starts in the gym when I'm in jiu-jitsu and I'm just not feeling right in my head. I make so many mistakes, and so I have to like kind of get out of that emotional state so that I can focus and say, okay, I'm in a bad spot. I gotta, I gotta focus on this, and so it's literally just kind of it helps discipline my mind. I guess that's the best way I can put it, and then it kind of gets you out of those funky moods you have, um, and so that's why I try to train like 4 or 5 times a week, and that kind of just it kind of balances me out. It gets me ready for the rest of the week.
Mhm.
So um
Nice, bro.
it's hard to explain, but it's one of those things that it's once you're doing it, it's just a different feeling. It's a whole, it just calms you down, and it just kind of gets you relaxed for the next move, for the next opponent, because at our gym we have guys. I have blue belts and purple belts that are just their body types. Either there's literally bodybuilders, or you get these guys that are really really freakishly tall, and those are problems for me. Even as a brown belt, you gotta stay on your game, and it all starts in the head. So it's just
Yeah.
like life. If you wake up with a sour attitude, that's the way your day is gonna be. So you gotta just focus, calm, break things down, and then just stay balanced with it. It's okay to have your bad days, but you kind of let them pass a little bit. But it just helps to have things to help those pass. Eating good. I mean, with me, it's my kids. I don't want my kids to grow up like me, so I'd be, when I see myself getting too emotional, just upset with, unnecessary things. I just remember my kids. I'm like, oh, my kids are watching, and so I gotta, that's how I don't want them to grow up like that, always freaking out like I used to. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of been my tool. That's the thing that I've gone to, and it's been with me, and it's helped me out.
Great, man. I appreciate all that, dog.
Yeah.
If this is too sensitive, man, please let me know. But you just said your brother committed suicide,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And I'm sorry that that happened and you had to experience that, bro.
Yeah.
But if you don't mind, I just want to talk about like if you know,
Hmm.
or if you want to share, did 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 he have any outlet to relieve stress? Like, did he work out? Did he train?
Yeah.
Anything that you know of?
Yeah. And the thing is, he really didn't. He was so focused on work, and I think that's what it was, is that this was like around COVID, and he was so focused on always trying to work, because obviously he had his family to support. He had his 3 kids, and when everything happened, he was one of those guys that you would never think that he was depressed or anything. You know what I mean? You see him, he was always happy, always smiling, and then just literally, I remember it was actually Halloween 2 years ago, and I remember I had talked to him like probably 40 minutes before, and we were making plans to do everything, like taking the kids trick or treating and this, and then 40 minutes later, we just got a call that he shot himself, and I was just like, there's no way, But even now, I look at it and I'm like, well, what was going on in his life that that could have happened, and there wasn't really anything going on other than just stress. You know, he didn't have any outlets. He used to train with me back in the day, but then, you know, it was just hard because he started his own business and he was literally just focused on his business, you know, just making that money so that he can support his family. But I think, you know, we need those outlets, because if we don't have those outlets, it messes with us. You know, it doesn't remind us that life is beautiful. You know, if we're always just focused on money, working, and bills, and it's just kind of like, you know, it's a stress, and eventually, if you're not, you know, training your mind and your body right for it, that stress will eventually, you know, take you out. You know, so I think as males, we need to focus, you know, and it goes for everybody, women too. But, you know, me, I look at a lot of, because as guys, we don't like to talk about our emotions. We don't like to express our emotions. And that's something that is not right in the world. You know, I think as men, we should be able to cry when we feel like crying, and just always, you know, if we're having issues or if we're struggling. I know with me, when I struggle in the past, I wouldn't let anybody know, not even my girl, you know. And now I'm learning to where, like, if I'm having a bad day, I'll let my girl, hey, I'm having a bad day, I got to go do my thing. She's like, okay, you know, go do your thing. And just having that support, let, you know, her knowing that I'm having a bad day, it helps me to realize, like, you know what, there are people, you know, we always have people that care about us, but I think when we're at certain points in our lives, we don't feel that way. And so it just takes a few words just to feel better, you know. And I think if my brother was training like he used to train with us all the time. He loved it. If he would have continued it, I think that would have helped. I think if he would have talked about his emotions more, because he wasn't those type of people. You know, you would never see him cry. I think there's limited times I've seen him cry, and he'd always hide it, you know. And I'm like, you know, if he would just express himself more, I think I would have, you know, he would have had more help. You know, I think we would have been able to help him, because now he's not here anymore. I mean, I know I'm always depressed about that. I'd be thinking about that all the time. You know, that was my best friend, and then we have his kids. So his 3 kids, we have custody of his 3 kids now. And on top of my 2 kids, I have his 3 kids. And it's just, that's another thing, you know. It's just, I got 3 new kids, and life is super stressful, and it's, I mean, but at the same time, it's beautiful, you know. We got to look at that. And just like them, I try to get them into the training too, you know, because I know they lost their parents, and so I'm like, you know, they went through a bad tragedy, and best thing I've seen, the younger one, his son is the youngest one, and when he trains jiu-jitsu, he just lights up. It's a whole different thing, you know. He loves it, you know. It's just a competitive edge for him, and even though he's not that great at it, he just knows, like, oh, you know, this is something that I eventually want to do. And when I got my brown belt, he was probably more excited than I was, you know. And so I'm just like, look, this is something you can work towards, but it takes years and years and years of dedication to it, you know. So that's my, you know, my whole new philosophy in life, you know, is just, you know, finding hobbies that are gonna, you know, brighten your day, and just, you know, release the stress of life, you know, because I'm sure, you know, I mean, we're not all perfect. We all struggle with something, but if we focus on that, it just takes away from our light, you know, from the world, and the light is what we have to give back, you know, and we have to find something to be able to let that light shine, you know. Um, it's just, you know, life's beautiful. You just got to find the beautiful things in it. With me personally, is my kids, and training, and then right now, you know, I'm just trying to do a lot of vacations. You know, I got a bunch of vacations lined up, and it's just things that I've always, growing up, I always said, oh, I want to go here, I want to go there, and now I'm like, you know what? There's no excuse. You know, we got to make that happen. We got to travel, I mean, see the world.
Man, all what you said was beautiful, bro. All what you said is beautiful. And you may never fully get over the fact that happened to you, man. But one thing I do know is that you're going to get better every day, man. Every little day, every day that you live, you're going to improve, man. And you're striving to improve every day. And that God is happy and smiling at you because you took responsibility and took his kids, man. You adopted his kids and to your own family, man, that's a beautiful thing, man. You didn't have to do that,
Yeah.
but you did, man. And there are people who wouldn't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you did.
Yeah.
And as the years goes by and your kids grow up, they're going to appreciate you for that, man. It's going to come full circle around. You understand? And what you're doing for them, you're teaching them discipline. You're giving them outlets to relieve stress. You're breaking that curse. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you're giving them the ability to express themselves, man. You're allowing them to relieve the pressure of the world, and that's a beautiful thing, Fernandez. Fernandez, and I appreciate you sharing all that, bro. I really do, man. I really do, bro.
Yeah, well, it's good to see you, brother. I'm always checking your stuff out, and I'm always seeing you. You're always active. I'm always like, damn, I'm like, dude, gonna beat me up anytime we roll. So I gotta post my stuff up too, so I can try to motivate him a little
bit. That's why I do it, man. I do it to motivate people like you, bro. And I'm glad that you follow me, man, and that you find my content valuable, bro. I really do, bro. But I'll let you go, man, and do your thing with your children, man.
Yeah,
Thank you for joining me today, bro. And let's talk again soon, man.
Yeah, of course. And you know, too is you know, I don't know if you saw Carlos. Remember Carlos? He just got his.
Oh yeah.
I was super excited about that because we went to go watch that fight. I had one of my guys fighting that night too, and when I heard he was fighting, I was like, he got it. You know, he trained in a new gym and they're in Springs, and he's a different beast right now. And when I saw him doing his thing, I'm like, woo, super excited. So I just kind of want to give him a shout out to see. I tried to invite him on here. I was going to give him a shout out so he doesn't say I don't think about him.
Yeah, I need to. Matter of fact, I'm gonna hit him up and see if I can bring him on in a week or so to talk about that, because he's a beast, man, and he just got his brown belt too as well.
Yep. He just got his brown belt. Literally, I think it was either a couple days or maybe just a week right before his fight, and so and I'm not gonna lie, he's one of those cats that even when I was a purple belt and he was a blue belt, I was like, oh, this is one of those cats I got to watch out for, because he's just, his game is on a different level, you know. And I was like, okay, you know, it's one of those things, you just got to be ready, because as a purple belt, you don't want to get tapped out by a blue belt, you know. But yeah, so it's good to talk to you. Always a pleasure, and I love, you know, coming on here and listening to you guys' conversations. You always do great things, and I personally, I appreciate you and what you're doing for everybody in the world, you know, because, you know, just coming on here and having conversations with different people, it's kind of what we need to do, you know, expand our relationships with the people in the world and people we meet, you know. And so I appreciate you doing that and having this podcast.
Thank you, man. Thank you, bro. God bless you, man. Let's link up soon, bro.
Yeah, no, we definitely will. Summer's coming, so I'm going to be posting a lot, and I'm going to be traveling a lot, so I'll definitely make my way out there, because like I said, we already plan on going out to Colorado Springs. So my whole idea was hopefully to go check Carlos's gym out too, but I also want to check out your gym, because every time I see it, I'm like, you guys got a grip of people out there, and I'm like, I need to go out there and check that out too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We got some talented folks at our gym too as well. Bro, God bless you, man.
God bless
you. You have a good rest of your day, bro. Peace out.